Another round of the post-credit scene for Superman has hit the net. This is including the post and mid-credit scene that was allegedly attached to the most recent screening of the film. And well, all those rumors, scoops, and confirmations of Brainiac and things like that, toss those out the window. As a matter of fact, don't even stay for the mid and post-credit scene if you're in a rush. They're pointless. Okay, so if you've been keeping up with this, chances are that you know that there's been plenty of reports, and one specific one that blew up like a couple weeks ago, which elaborated what the mid and post-credit scene are and what they were building up. This included, well, some big heavy hitters like Brainiac, for example, which is, yeah, it's a pretty big deal, right? Brainiac, I mean, you know exactly what you're setting up with that one. Now, let's dial that back because that's not exactly what's happening. So again, the previous report suggested some pretty big stuff happening and that this would sort of be a major cliffhanger moment. Now, this is from alleged test screenings that happened about a month to a month and a half ago. Now, per these reports, and with the most recent test screenings and the full film being complete, new details have allegedly leaked, and they've decided to scrap the mid and post-credit scene in favor of doing something completely different. Now, you guys know how I am with this. I never believe this stuff because you always get the people that come out and go, well, we scooped this, and it turns out we were right, but they were afraid that we were onto them, and we wanted to change it, so we know what they did, we told you accurately, but they had to change it because of us. That's not how it happens. If they have a plan to use Brainiac, they would keep Brainiac in there. They're not going to take it out because of scoopers. Because if that was the case, according to these insiders, not a single film would come out because they know every single piece of detail. So let's talk about the actual mid-credit scene and the details that have leaked online. So obviously the first one is the mid-credit scene. Now, per reports, this takes place literally right after the initial credits. So this is after the main cast, the producer, director, and all that, before the giant wall of text comes down that lasts like 4 to 5 minutes. This is when the scene takes place. And previous reports suggested that this would include Supergirl and or possibly a Green Lantern, or Superman showing up to set up the Lanterns TV series. Now, this report claims this is not the case. Instead, the post-credit scene is Superman and Krypto sitting on the moon watching as the Earth spins. So you guys remember that clip that James Gunn released of literally that, them just sitting there watching the Earth spin? Apparently, that's what it is. So there it is. Now, some are saying, well, it's not the moon. It might be like the space station or whatever. Whatever the case is, it's just them sitting on something watching the Earth. Okay, it's a bit disappointing, right? I get it. It's really disappointing. Like, a lot of people are already mad about this in comments on websites and posts where I've seen this discussed, and I get it. It's a step down from, hey, Superman shows up and Hal Jordan is fully suited up, and he's like, hey, Hal, I need you to go check this out because I can't, because of what happens in the post-credit scene. You know, like, yeah, it's a massive step down. But again, remember, that was never confirmed. Ever. That was just a rumor. But it would have made sense. So, it is what it is. But this is where this report gets a little conflicting, because per reports, Supergirl was supposed to show up at the end of the film and take Krypto because he's in her film. Well, reports are suggesting she actually shows up in this mid-credit scene, but people are a little all over the place with it. So does she in fact show up at the end of Superman in the mid-credit scene? And she's like, oh, hi, Cal. Thanks for watching Krypto for me, but I need him. I got my own mission out there. There's a lot of stuff happening. Anyways, check out my film. It's coming next year. It's a little hint and a nudge, you know. I think that would be kind of cool. So I'm hoping that it's that version of the scene, because at least it's something more substantial with substance in it, you know. But again, if the rest of the film is great, who cares about the mid and post-credit scene? They don't decide the entirety of the film. But it's the fact that everybody was built up to expect major moments, which then brings us to the post-credit scene, which don't sit around for it. Okay, so the post-credit scene of Superman was said to be Clark is in his apartment. It's him and Lois doing whatever, and then Brainiac's ship apparently entered through the atmosphere or is seen above Earth. They hear what's going on. Aliens are attacking. It's Brainiac's ship. Cut to black. Now, I argued in the video where I broke this down saying this doesn't make sense because then the rest of the DC universe, till they decide to deal with this, has to all literally be a direct prequel or at the same time as Superman. They get into trouble like the MCU has. So I argued it can't be that. Well, details on what it is are far more disappointing. The report states that the second scene is Superman and Mr. Terrific as they're looking at a giant crack in a building because the ground was split open during the finale where Superman fights that giant eye orb energy thing, whatever it is. And Superman says that the building now looks crooked due to the, Earth being destroyed in this giant crack that lifted elements of it, and the building is leaning sideways now. Mr. Terrific gets annoyed. He then kicks a rock, turns away, and walks away in a moody manner, leaving Superman to just kind of look at this building by himself. Okay, well, if that's the mid and post-credit scene, I can tell you right now that if you're waiting for that big revelation, here comes whatever, a big moment, it's going to change the film, it's going to hook us, it's the Thanos level reveal or whatever, or, hey, I'm recruiting you for the Avengers initiative, you're clearly not getting that. Again, I don't care what these scenes are. They're not going to decide whether I enjoy the film, love it, or hate it. It's going to be the substance within the film, the context of the film that decides it for me, you know? But to say that these scenes are a bit disappointing, yeah, I'd be lying to you if I said no. You know, like, just them sitting there looking at Earth, and then them sitting there making a joke, and Mr. Terrific just walks away with a mood because Superman cracked a joke about the building leaning sideways now because of the destruction. That sounds dumb, personally. I find it very, very underwhelming. So, now you know. And knowing is half the scoop. Yo, Scoop Joe! Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.